I think we're looking good. So what I have here is another target. I'll get some different ammo out and see if I can't put a group on one of these targets. Okay, back at the bench, we'll now do another group. We'll shoot these 130 grain spire points with 4350. And this says it should be about 3,100 feet per second. I'm going to move over to those 4 circles. You'll see them on the target camera there probably. And we'll see how this goes. Make sure the setup is going to work. Oh yeah, that's pretty good. I'll start with the upper left target, and then we'll move on from there. What I need to do is some kind of reference so that my bags don't move around. So I'm going to line up this front bag kind of on the edge of the cut in the bench there. We'll put the firearm about even there, and then that should work pretty good. Try to be a little bit more consistent this time. Boy, the breeze is coming up a little bit. It's pretty blue sky, but the air is quite crisp. You know, I think what I'm going to do, because that was showing a little bit left, I think I'll dial in just a little bit of right here. 1/4 inch at 100. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's try that. And then let's do just a little bit of down. 1, 2, 3 downs. Okay, back on the bag. Got my arm in the slot. Feels good. Okay, back at it. Of course, this 130 is going to fly a little different. If anything, it should fly a little higher. Yep, we're still a little high and left. The recoil was pretty much straight back that time. Those were a little harder to extract, not a ton. I don't see any problem with the primer or anything. That all looks good. I've got 9 of these. I took one of them down to inspect them. They're well labeled, and they were from a family member, so I do have confidence in the reloads. And like I said, I took one of them down to measure, and they're dated way back in 1994. I don't know if it was the morning of hunting, 11/15/94. November 15th is our opening day of whitetail season here in Michigan. 270, 130 grain spire point, 56 grains of 4350 for 3,100 feet per second. 55 is a number that I've used myself. 56 is right in the ballpark. And like I said, I did take one of them down and looked at it, and it was indeed, looked like that's what it was. So let's go ahead and run another. Now those feel like the headspace could be just a little bit, well, maybe I didn't have it in there all the way. That was just the extractor. Okay, so it's fine. All right, shot number 2 on the upper left. So my sleeve's bothering me all of a sudden. Alright, I got things lined up about where I had them before. That one came back to the right a little bit. Okay, well, let's see where number 3 prints. Yeah, those are a little bit higher pressure, I think, because they're just a bit tougher to extract. Nothing that worries me. Okay. I didn't feel bad about that shot. I tried really hard to be smooth on it. That's right next to number 2. I'm letting I'm a little bit more free recoil now too. I'm more comfortable with the rifle. I'm just letting it move. I'm not trying to hold it. So you probably see it coming back into me. I'm letting it recoil rather than trying to be real rigid on it. So I got 2 there that are together, and the one that's off to the left. Now, once again, this is only 50 yards. A 3,000 foot per second 130 grain bullet is kind of a waste at 50 yards, but we're working on getting her dialed in here. I wasn't quite as good on letting it come straight back that time. I came to the left a little bit, or excuse me, to the right a little bit. But I did not affect the windage of the shot. It's still good, it just dropped. Which I don't... That could have been me, I suppose. Okay, let's put one more on that target for those 5. I think we're set about right. Yep, that one's right back up with those other 2. Well, I'm satisfied with what it's doing. Everything looks fine there. The breast looks good. It's nice and clean around the neck. Okay, so let's move to the right, to the upper right circle, and we'll put 4 shots on that target. Yeah, it's closing well. You know, that'll be an interesting test. Let's take that out. Let's close it on a piece of the fired brass. See how that feels. Random one, number 3. Yeah, it's a little tighter there. Yep, it doesn't like closing on the fired brass, so it must be stretching it just a little bit. Okay, it did close there, but yeah, it takes a firm snap, so it definitely does stretch a little bit. Okay, moving over to the other target. Boy, I wish we could be doing this live. It'd be a perfect day for a live stream from the range. When I record these and put them up and they're long, I think people run out of patience. They'll watch a longer, my viewers will watch a longer live stream. But if it's just a regular recorded video, they get too long. All right, here we go. It's right up in the top, just like shot number 1 was on the other group. I wonder if that's a parallax on the scope thing, moving around an awful lot. Okay, let's try to get settled in here. Okay, that one's back towards the middle. You know, optically, this scope doesn't seem too bad. I've got a good focus on the reticle. I can see the target very well. The lines on the target are very apparent. I think that one's right with the other one. Looks like we've got some challenges with shooter discipline here. The rifle is trying to do its thing. Okay, let's see if I can put this one with that other two. I think that this thing is proving itself well enough that the next time out it warrants using the better rest and rear bag, moving back. Say, if it wasn't shady back at 100 yards, I wouldn't mind going back today, but I think that some consistency in the setup would definitely help. Okay. Came a little bit to the left on that one, but not bad. Not bad, so I'm happy with that. Well, let's go down and take a look at the target, and we'll move on from there. Okay, so here's the last two groups. Odd that on both targets the first shot was high and left. Came back around here okay, and that one there. So this second group, I've got two together here and one. I think what I've got going on there is me not being centered up well parallax wise behind the scope. I need to work on that, or put a less fussy piece of glass on the thing. So, you know, I guess, you know, it's about an inch on those those three shots there. If you look at the whole thing, we're about 2 inches. So once again, just 50 yards getting the rifle sighted in. That was the first batch with 110 grain bullets, and then this was with the 130s. We'll keep working on it. I'll play with that scope a little more and see what I come up with. Thanks for watching.